So my first question is for Vondi. So your character has a really interesting role in the film's story, especially in his interactions with Rebecca Hall's character. And I was wondering if you could talk a bit about your character and what drew you to playing him.
Well, initially, what drew me to playing him was to work with David, who I watched his movie, his previous movie, I think, as Evan mentioned before, and the character was, how do you thread the needle of this guy who you don't know is a good guy or a bad guy? And also this person who just lost someone who had a connection to the Rebecca Hall character in terms of her and her recent grief and her recent loss. So there were some things, some baggage there that I felt I could carry that would support me playing the role that would carry me through the movie.
Absolutely. And then my next question is for Evan. So your character is dead at the start of the film, but his presence can be felt completely throughout the entire movie, very similar to how Rebecca Hall's character feels throughout the film. And I'm curious what you and the director, David Bruckner, did to help sort of convey that eeriness.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that I took the role, was because that he was sort of felt but not seen for a lot of the film, and there was this sort of looming feeling that he would that he would appear. And Bruckner and I had a lot of conversations about what the logic around what my character is and the space that he occupies. So there was a lot of conversations about how to make that feel grounded in logic, even if it doesn't feel like grounded in a logic that we might particularly all experience, you know. So it was a really tricky thing to figure out, but it's what drew me to it. It was a really fun challenge.
Yeah, completely. That's a great answer. And then my next question is for Vondi. So the environment and setting that the film takes place in is equal parts peaceful and unsettling, with the house playing a huge role in the eeriness of the haunting story. So I'm curious, as an actor, what it was like for you to sort of be in that space and how being on that set personally impacted your portrayal of your character.
Well, it was great to sort of see how David was building that character, building the house as a character, and of course it's opposite. So my character didn't spend that much time in the house because I was the neighbor, but I got the opportunity to walk through, and David talked about the character and talked about Evan's character, and I walked through with Rebecca and talked about the scope of the movie and what the house meant to the movie. And so I was able to bring that to home next door and know the house that I'd spent, had to imagine this time that I spent with Evan's character and with Rebecca's character in the movie, in that house, as we were neighbors, and my wife there with us, you know, in these dinners that were sort of double dates, you know, in many ways.
Absolutely. Yes, that's a great answer. And unfortunately, that's all the time I have. But I want to thank you both so much for all of your awesome answers. And congratulations again on the film. It is fantastic.